They used to say football's future was unpredictable, that no matter how much talent a teenager had, destiny was fragile. A single injury, a wrong move, a loss of focus could steal everything. And yet, every once in a lifetime, someone arrives who bends that uncertainty, who carries a generation's weight not with fear, but with the effortless grace of a born prodigy. In 2025, the world is not waiting to see if Lamine Yamal will become great. It is watching in awe as he already shapes greatness. A 17-year-old who plays like he lived this sport for decades. From the narrow streets of Rocafonda in Mataró, where concrete walls echoed with childhood kicks and whispered dreams, to the thunder of the Camp Nou and the world's biggest stadiums rising to their feet for him. Lamine's story is not just meteoric, it's poetic. A boy who once balanced school books and football boots in the same backpack now balances the hopes of Barcelona, the pride of Spain, and the eyes of global football on his shoulders, all while still learning to drive and preparing for final school exams. There is a softness to his face, a reminder that he is still so young, but it dissolves the instant the ball touches his feet. Suddenly, there is fire, acceleration like a spark catching wind, agility like water slipping between fingers, confidence too natural to be taught. Lamine doesn't dribble to entertain. He dribbles to devastate. To unbalanced defenders, to stretch time, to freeze the pitch as if only he and the ball exist. His left foot, whispered about in La Masia corridors long before the world discovered it. Velvet touch, venom strike, vision like a chess prodigy 3 moves ahead. Fans call him La Perla, the Pearl. Analysts call him the next cornerstone of world football. But if you watch closely, really watch, you see something deeper. This isn't someone trying to be Messi or Neymar or any player who came before. Lamine Yamal is not a successor. He is an original, a pure footballing expression, bold, elegant, unbothered by expectation. There is a maturity in his movement, the calm of someone who knows pressure is not a burden, but a crown. Barcelona needed a miracle when they lost their legends, when financial storms shook the club, when the world questioned whether the Catalan machine of wonderkids had finally run dry. And then, as if scripted by football destiny itself, a teenager emerged. A winger with the audacity to take on Champions League veterans at 16, the maturity to dictate Spain's attack at 17, and the humility to still walk into training every morning with hunger in his eyes. The world remembers Euros 2024. That curling finish, that fearless swagger, the way he treated the semi-final like a schoolyard challenge. Spain didn't just win. They rebirthed. And the whole planet realized something profound. They were witnessing not the rise of a talent, but the arrival of a phenomenon. A moment fans will remember like they remember 2005 Messi versus Juventus, like Ronaldo's emergence in Lisbon, like Mbappé tearing apart Argentina as a teenager. Football eras are not always predictable, but sometimes history arrives early. By 2025, Lamine Yamal is more than a breakout star. He is a global headline, a brand magnet, a cultural figure for every young kid who believes greatness has no age limit. His sponsorship deals? Already among the most lucrative for a teen athlete. His online following? A juggernaut. His lifestyle? Surprisingly simple, grounded by family, faith, and the values his Moroccan father and Equatorial Guinean mother instilled in him long before cameras found him. No scandals, no noise, just discipline, humility, and the quiet fire of someone who understands legacy before he's even reached adulthood. And yet, he enjoys life. Luxury trips, designer fits, a social circle now filled with stars, football royalty seated beside him at award nights where he steals the spotlight without trying. But unlike other overnight sensations, he hasn't rushed to chase the glamorous trap of early fame. No mansion fleets, no chaotic nightlife. Instead, quality, calm, evolution. His biggest flex is not on social media. It's on the pitch, where defenders spend 90 minutes learning humility in real time. You see it in his signature movements. The glide past two markers with a feint and body shift, like fabric floating on air, the whip of the left foot that bends physics, the sudden acceleration that turns half chances into highlight reels. They compare him to Messi for vision, to Neymar for flair, to Robin for that ruthless inside cut. But truthfully, he doesn't fit anyone's mold fully. He is building his own playbook, one match at a time. Coaches talk about his intelligence, how he sees spaces before they appear, processes information like a veteran playmaker, and reads defenders' movements like chapters he's memorized. Veterans praise his mentality, grounded, patient, never intimidated by lights or legends. Opponents fear his unpredictability. And teammates, they smile because they know they are sharing the field with someone who will define an era. By this year, his trophy cabinet is already sparkling. Youth championships, international glory, domestic crowns. Yet what excites the world isn't what he has won, but what he will win. A Ballon d'Or? Almost inevitable. Champions League dominance? Expected. A dynasty for Spain? In motion. Barcelona's future backbone? Already beating. And yes, his net worth is rising like his trajectory. Sponsorships, bonuses, performance incentives, global campaigns from sportswear giants to tech brands who want his face beside innovation. A teenager whose potential net worth over the next decade could rival the greats, because generational talent in the modern era is not just applauded. It is invested in, marketed, immortalized. But behind all the numbers and glitter, one truth stands tallest. Lamine Yamal loves football like a child waking up eager to play. That innocence, that joy, is why he terrifies defenses more than speed or talent ever could. Because when passion and genius meet discipline, something unstoppable is born. Right now, the world is not watching a player develop. It is witnessing a legend begin. And the scary part? He's still only getting started. But what truly sets Lamine apart is not speed, not dribbling, not the elegance of a left foot that could paint masterpieces in slow motion. It is his mind. The way he slows chaos into clarity. The way he processes angles, pressure, and opportunity like a silent conductor, orchestrating movement across 90 yards of grass. Watch him closely. Not the highlight reel moments, but the quiet ones. The first touch that kills a missile-paced pass. The subtle glance over his shoulder before receiving the ball. That tiny dip of the shoulder that shifts a defender's balance just enough to open a passing lane. These are not tricks. These are instincts. Evidence of a footballing IQ decades ahead of his passport date. And yet, for all the genius, he remains grounded. Family dinners still matter. His mother still reminds him to stay humble. His father still carries the memories of a young boy playing barefoot, chasing a ball with more enthusiasm than fear. The world calls him a prodigy. At home, he's just Lamine. A teenager with video game battles to win, friends to joke with, dreams still growing. That balance, that innocence wrapped around ambition, is what makes him dangerous. He hasn't been hardened by fame. He hasn't been worn down by expectation. He is still pure, still playing football like a boy who simply loves the game. Barcelona knows how rare that purity is. They protect it. They invest in it. They build around it. Because they remember the last time a gifted left-footed kid lit up La Masia and changed football forever. Legends are not reborn, but hope can be revived. And in Lamine Yamal, the Catalan soul of football breathes again. The club that once produced artists, not athletes, sees in him a painter whose brush is leather and grass. Each touch a stroke, each run a composition, each assist a signature. When he plays, it feels more like a story unfolding than a match being contested. Fans arrive early just to see him warm up, not for tricks, but to witness the precision, the calm, the ease. Opponents arrive nervous because they know they aren't facing a teenager, they are facing inevitability. Coaches build game plans around stopping him, and still fail. That's the mark of future history. You can predict his brilliance, study it, plot against it, but when the whistle blows, all you can do is hope the storm passes fast. Even the old legends, the pundits who said modern football had lost its magic, watch him and smile again. Because in a world obsessed with power, pace, analytics, and structure, Lamine plays with soul, the way football was meant to be. Improvised yet intentional, free yet razor-focused, modern yet romantic. When he cuts in from the right side, defenders know the danger, know the script, but still can't stop it. Because this isn't choreography, this is instinct, a talent that cannot be imitated, only witnessed. And with every match, sponsors line up like pilgrims at the gate of a rising king, boots crafted for him, campaigns shot around him, a generation inspired by him. In 2025, his endorsements stretch across global markets, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Asia. He represents more than a club, more than a country. He represents a new era of multicultural global football. A son of immigrant bloodlines rising to become Spain's brightest light, a symbol that genius knows no border. Luxury brands chase him, but he chooses carefully. Quality over noise, legacy over trend. He's seen what happens when fame grows faster than discipline, and so his life reflects balance. A beautiful apartment in Barcelona overlooking the city lights, tastefully modern, not excessive. A growing collection of high-end fashion pieces, subtle luxury, not flashy chaos. Sneakers and tailored jackets, quiet elegance, mature taste. A careful introduction into the world of elite lifestyle, guided by agents who learned from mistakes of stars before him. His first sports car? Carefully chosen, not because of speed, but because of meaning. A symbolic milestone, not a trophy of ego. The kind of luxury that whispers success instead of shouting it. Because Lamine understands something many never do, legacy is louder than lifestyle. You don't chase greatness, you build it. On the pitch, his achievements already force headlines to rewrite themselves. Youngest starter in Spain's modern era. Youngest player to score in major international competition. Key contributor to Barcelona's resurgence. Names like Pedri, Gavi, and Fermin form the backbone. But Yamal? He is the spark. The creative energy that turns structure into spectacle. Every game, analysts dissect his touches frame by frame, trying to decode genius like an encrypted message. And still, he remains a student. Arriving early to sharpen technique. Staying late to refine finishing. Studying the runs of Lewandowski, the patterns of Xavi's system. The guidance of coaches who see in him a once-in-a-generation responsibility. Because talent without discipline is a story unfinished. But talent with maturity, that becomes dynasty. They say the greatest players are not born for pressure, they are built by it. But Lamine Yamal flips that philosophy. Pressure didn't build him, it bowed to him. Fame didn't corrupt him, he kept it at arm's length. Expectations didn't suffocate him. He breathed them in and turned them into fuel. That's not training, that's destiny. And so, in 2025, as commentators run out of adjectives and rival fans secretly admire what they cannot deny, one truth echoes across the football world. The superstar era has a new ruler in the making. Mbappe broke through. Holland conquered. And now comes the era of Yamal. A transition not forced but natural, a wave rising with silent certainty, carrying a future that feels inevitable. All while still laughing like a kid after training, still calling friends back home, still feeling the thrill of hearing his name chanted by 50,000 people, yet smiling like he cannot believe this is real. That innocence won't last forever. But for now, it fuels him. For now, the world gets to witness a genius who has not become jaded by his own brilliance. Because the clock hasn't turned yet. The future hasn't arrived fully. The world is still in the opening chapters of a football book that will sit beside the legends when written. And for now, we watch, mesmerized, as a young king sharpens his crown. But the beautiful thing about destiny is that it never arrives quietly. It doesn't tiptoe, it roars. And in Barcelona, in Spain, across Europe and beyond, there is a hum. A quiet vibration that grows louder with every impossible assist. Every curling shot that defies geometry, every moment a stadium holds its breath because a boy is about to try something only dreamers dare attempt. The hum says one thing. Something historic is unfolding. One play at a time. 2025 isn't his peak. It's his prelude. A preview. The world is not yet witnessing Lamine Yamal at full power. It is watching the runway light up beneath him as he accelerates into a future that looks frighteningly limitless. A teenager who already bends the tempo of elite football, who already demands double marking, who already has fans traveling across continents just to say they saw him before his legend matured. Not because hype inflated him, but because reality confirmed him. And when the lights go off after the match, when the jerseys are signed, and cameras are packed away, he walks off the pitch with the same calm breath, the same disciplined stride. He knows what the world expects. He knows the comparisons, the headlines, the weight of history on his shoulders. Yet he treats it not as pressure, but as fuel, a gift. Something he earned, not something he fears. Because fear does not build greatness. Hunger does. Curiosity does. Joy does. And Yamal still plays with joy, with youthful thrill, with a spark that cannot be manufactured or taught. The kind that comes once in a generation. The trophies will stack, La Liga titles, European nights written in gold, international glories painted in red and yellow. Records will fall, youngest to score this, fastest to create that, most assists before 20. The numbers will swell, millions in salary, millions more in sponsorships, a net worth in 2025 already rising past, wow, 5.8 million. Projected to explode into tens of millions before his 21st birthday. Boots designed for him. Global campaigns anchored by him. His signature, his silhouette, his name, the new blueprint for football's commercial future. Luxury follows talent in modern football, and even though he steps lightly into that world, make no mistake, it is there. He moves through life with the quiet comfort of success, earned young. A sleek performance car tucked into an underground garage in Barcelona. Subtle designer clothing, not loud or chaotic, but refined. Tailored jackets, exclusive sneakers, pieces reserved for those who are invited, not those who force entry. Invitations to celebrity events, fashion houses sending private collection previews, artists and athletes wanting to share moments with him not because he is famous, but because he is meaningfully gifted. Yet the cornerstone remains his world of simplicity. Family visits, Ramadan meals shared quietly, childhood friends still at his side, simple routines grounding extraordinary talent. Because the most dangerous type of star is the humble one, the one who knows where he came from and never loses sight of it. Spain cherishes him. Barcelona protects him. The world admires him. But his heart still beats for the streets where it all started. And that's what scares defenders and inspires children. Because when a footballer grows too fast, the story fades. But when a footballer grows true, when he balances genius with humility, he becomes not just great, but iconic. Kids in parks mimic his cut-inside curl. Teenagers repost his highlights with captions about believing early. Coaches use him as an example, not just of skill, but of professionalism, of maturity beyond age, of how to rise without losing yourself. There will be battles, moments where expectations bite harder than applause, nights where muscles ache more than cameras can see. But there is steel beneath his elegance, a quiet resilience, a belief not shouted but anchored deep. He isn't here to be a moment. He is here to be an era. And so, as 2025 unfolds, one truth becomes impossible to deny. We are not watching a rising star. We are watching a future legend sharpen his story. A boy who carries the light of football's future in his stride. A player whose greatest highlight has not yet happened. A journey only just beginning. One day, when documentaries look back on this era, they will not say Lamine Yamal followed greatness. They will say greatness followed him. He is not chasing the throne. He is building it, touch by touch, match by match, year by year. A new chapter of football is being written. The world feels it. Barcelona breathes it. Spain celebrates it. Kids dream it. And somewhere in a quiet moment, after a night under stadium lights, Lamine Yamal smiles because he knows the world hasn't even seen half of what he has planned. The miracle isn't that he's already on top. The miracle is that he's only just beginning.